Hello everybody, welcome to Swedish Open 2023, the fourth stop of the Euro Tour 2023, and we are in beautiful Borås, Sweden at Umergårdens Disc Golf Center. And we have beautiful views once again from our drone footage, and we are ready to start the fourth competition in the Euro Tour. It's great to see you once again. Good morning to our European viewers and almost a good night to our American ones. My name is Esa-Pekka Tupala, I'm your host today, and with me once again, spin doctor himself, Jaani Lansio. Welcome.
Thank you, EP. Surely it'll be a nice tournament yet again, and it's fun to see that we're going from Norway to southern Sweden. Borås, absolutely a beautiful small town, and the course is beautiful yet very, very different from Krugholm. So it'll be an exciting event to see how the players tackle this course compared to Krugholm. Are there different players taking the lead? How do they change their tactics compared to last weekend?
Sure thing. And first time at Euro Tour, I mean Pro Forester of course, but Krugholm was fairly new of a course, 2018 established, but this one is 2010, so it has 9 of those older holes, and then it has 9 new holes for the gold layout, but then we have also a second layout for this year, 2023. We have silver and we have gold layouts, so we have great holes for all of you to see. But we have to remember we are a part of tour right now, so we need to check out what's the Euro Tour, how does it work. So here's some clues for you to follow this tour via Disc Golf Network. So we have 8 different countries in this tour this year, and we have 11 events in the tour. And 7 best results of those 11, they count towards the Tour Championship. And the last one, the competition of the Tour Championship, it's held in October at Andalusia, and it's an invitational tournament. So you really need to gather those points if you wish to be there at the Tour Championship. And the schedule for this weekend's broadcasts, we're going to start again in the morning with the FPO, 9 a.m. local time in Sweden. Then we have 4 p.m. starting with the MPO. And as you can see from those views, the town is spectacular, but so is the course, and it's a very nice change for the Krugholm, if you can say so.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a great disc golfer, you need to know how to play the open holes, you need to know how to play the long holes, short holes, tight woodsy golf. To be a complete disc golfer, you need to tackle Konopiste, you need to tackle Krugholm, you need to tackle Borås, and they're also different. Of course, there are specialized disc golfers for woodsy golf and specialized ball golf course tacklers, but in order to be the great one, you need to know how to play here and in other places too.
And we'll hope these women can charge up their game from the hole 1. Let's go see the first tee shots. Enjoy.
Sofie Björnicke. And the next player on tee, sponsored by Excel Discs, Riva Store and Vivo Kauppa. Winner of the last Euro Tour event in Krugholm, from Finland, Silva Saarinen. And next on tee, sponsored by Guru Discs, PCS Constructions, and We Are Disc Golf, the 2022 Euro Tour champion and the 3-time Norwegian champion, Anniken Christiansen Steen. And the 4th player in the card, sponsored by Kastaplast, Disc Express and European Birdies, the 2022 Swedish champion, Hanna Jansson.
And so the 4th stop of the Euro Tour 2023, it has officially been opened with Disc Golf Network and with our FPO feature card. Let's see Lennartsson on this hole 1. This is a tricky par 3. It has to skip to the left side, as you can see from this great drive.
Well, not so tricky for Lennartsson there.
No, not at all.
Yeah, certainly not the easiest one. It's a basic hole. I mean, a basic shot, 100-meter hyzer shot, but certainly have to hit the gap perfectly and also avoid the OB on the right side. What you wish is to take a easy par from here, and a birdie, I think, is a little bit of a bonus for these ladies here. Looks like Sophie Björlöke got a little bit of a lucky break there. She went over the OB, and it was very close call to actually stay on the OB also. But now she will be taking a fairly easy par, I assume.
Yeah, and that is if the rough lets her do that. I mean, just like in Krukol, we have some pretty dense roughs here compared to Konopiste, for example.
Yeah, these might be even less forgiving than in Krukol, if possible.
And so this hole 1 currently playing in the harder scale of the difficultness. If you look at the amount of birdies, only 3 birdies for the day before this moment. 46% taking the par, 42% taking bogey or worse. So that OB is sneaking there on the right side if you shank your shot just a little bit. As you can see, Anniken, she really has nothing but the layup to do, and even that's hard for her.
Yeah,
like,
definitely not a lefty hole. It curves so much to the left, and you need to have a huge hyzer forehand to tackle this one.
And you actually have the alley on the left side, but it plays against the slight slope there, so you really need to pick up your disc correctly if you wish to get a forward skip and get a look for the birdie. And also compared to Krukol, we're seeing some rain, some more difficult weather for these women. Oh, Nanne Jensen.
That was for birdie, right?
That was for par, actually.
Oh, man.
So she's going to take a bogey there. And again, that's a great catch from the bushes.
Yeah, great save. I mean, the
Yeah.
first hole is always the most difficult for you mentally.
Yeah.
And to actually save a par from that distance has to feel very satisfying.
Sure. Silva taking the par. And as you said, Jaani, you really don't want to mess with this hole any more than you should be. Just try to take the par and move on.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a bonus birdie, but should be quite easy of a par.
And you're going to have those birdie opportunities here, I'd say way more than in Krug hole.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of them. But if you start to think about it too much, I need to birdie this, I need to birdie the next one, I need to take all the birdies, it might get into your head and it's hard to concentrate on the task at hand.
So the
The
silver
birdies will come.
Sure. Let's see Silva's drive on this hole once again. Use the fairway quite well.
That's a perfect line, taking the high route, high hyzer route and landing quite close to the basket. Of course you can throw a lower line and just rely on your skips.
Now we are moving to the second hole of this Umeågården disc golf course. It's a par 4, 110 meters, averaging 4.04 this morning. It has some shape to it, and it also has that OB box there on the left side of your drive, which can be a problematic thing for those right-handed drives. Then we also have OB far on the right side, but that really doesn't come into play.
Exactly. Quite a tackleable hole for these ladies here, and certainly there is the mandatory that shouldn't come into play on the left side.
Yeah, and as you can see, we have some trees you have to tackle with on your first shot. A bit of uphill also.
Bit of uphill. Hyzer. And then you're in the open. Going for the birdie.
This is looking great.
This is a fantastic drive from Sophie Björlycke. And again, Anniken Steen has to rely on the Annie angle.
Yeah. We are sorry, Anniken.
Yeah.
These first two holes, they are not for the lefties. I mean,
Well,
if you do this,
that's a beautiful one.
If you do this, then it is for the lefty.
Yeah, and if you're throwing an Annie, you can bite some more meters.
Yeah. And for playing the lefty, and if you get near the OB there on the far side of the fairway, you actually have a more of a stock hyzer approach.
That's true. That's true.
And there is the Mando, second Mando on this hole, just before the basket. So you have to circle that from the left side.
I mean, it's not the case anymore, but it certainly used to be, and still on the older courses, at least here in Europe, I know that they are designed for righties. The righties design them. They don't see the fact that, hey, there are like 5% of the population are actually lefties.
Yeah.
And they are designed to maybe subconsciously to curve to the left.
Yeah.
And the lefties they just have to adjust. But that also means they learn to throw the analyzer naturally because they're forced to do that more often than as righties.
Sure thing. And then there are those lefties who throw the backhand as a lefty, but forehand as a righty.
Yeah, I don't know what's the deal with those.
But Anniken is surely a full lefty player.
True.
I guess you have to go back and see the... Oh, that. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And the course might be a bit slicky this morning because of the rain. And the discs are getting wet. That's a fact. So these players really need to have their towels ready.
I like what they did there with the trees covering the bark.
Yep.
I mean, they can take a beating, but for 20 years or more, they can't take it anymore and they will die.
Yeah.
Unfortunate early release from Silva, but a nice kick back to the fairway.
She'll take that. And Jansson taking her second, a bit pinched off there. And that's safe. Hanna Jansson has played 2 Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour competitions this year, and she's been second on both of those. And then we have the Swedish National Tour second stop there. She actually took that down. Field on both of those was about 7 to 8 players.
Hanna Jansson had a great year last year. Won the doubles championship in Sweden and also the individual championship. So,
Yep.
double champion last year here in Sweden.
Let's see if she can take down one more. And there you can see the Mando. And Sophie Björlöke taking a little bit of a fast approach, and nice logo there on Sophie's disc Euro Tour stamp. And the Mando is fairly near the basket, and it's usually just a tree that you want to miss, but now it can be a little bit tricky there on your mental side.
Exactly, it looks like they're pretty cautious of it. Can't blame them.
Silva's taking her jump putt approach there. She actually has an OB stroke there, so she will be taking the bogey. Seems like she found the OB box on the left side of the opening shot. Now Hanna for the birdie. Oh, great effort there, just a bit low. And as you said, Jaani, covering those trees with the planks, we are fortunate enough to be in the spot where we can play this sport and play these beautiful venues, and we must remember to respect the surroundings we are playing in. And that's great thing from the course designer to protect the nature around us.
Yeah, I mean, the disc golf would be very, very boring without the trees. So protect them trees at all costs.
Oh, what a...
Sneaks it in.
Yeah, sure.
Just enough height, just enough power.
No change.
No change.
Why
Who
did-
needs them anyway? Unnecessary noise.
Yep. Let's not disturb the nature.
That's the agent putt.
Oh,
Secret agent putt.
yeah. We're almost sneaking that in. So she'll be taking the par. Anniken Steen, the only player on our feature card, taking the birdie here on hole 2. This 110-meter par 4, dogleg par 4, should we say. Yep.
Just goes to show that a hole doesn't have to be long to be challenging par 4. It's certainly a short one, but you have to work for your birdie.
And we have the next tee on the left side of the basket, number 2. Let's see Jenni Karppinen drive the hole 5. She's on the second card, or should we say chase card at this point. It's a bit left side there for Jenni, wishing a roll down the hill, and
He gets it. If you wish it, you'll get it.
Yep.
Not always the case, though.
For me, at least, that's not the case. But you might have the roll luck.
Trusting the manifestation.
Yeah, sure. I mean, why not to trust that?
A big downhill hole. Hole number 5.
That's a gorgeous drive if you get it just right. But this is the danger here. Heading on the left. Then you just wish this to happen.
Seems like that's the case.
Yeah. They're lucky there is the slope there, so the discs are available to roll down. But now we are on the hole 3. Sophie is showing us how it's done. Wishes this to glide, and it's almost in the bullseye.
Yeah, it's a 75-meter straight. Not even a tight gap, so this is one of those must-gets on this course. You really, really want this one.
And this is practically the only mistake you can do here. Take a disc that doesn't go straight. Do you have those, Jaani?
I really don't know how my discs fly. It's always a mystery to me.
Sure. Silva gets a nice kick there.
That's a lucky break for Silva.
A bit behind of that Guardian tree / bush there. Anniken.
A little bit of technical difficulties there.
Yeah, you just need to navigate through these trees here and just take the. You really don't have any nice flex line there or hyzer gap. It's just it has been played out.
I mean, it's a putter shot for sure. Just avoid going long because there is a OB line there that can come into play if you put too much steam on your disc.
And Hanna got a bit of luck there, rolling towards the basket. And that's usually something we see on the MPO side of things, that those players might take a route that's not visibly seen by the course designers or the normal people, like normal mortals like us, Jaani. But these players usually do the Paul Macbeth stuff and navigate through those lines that are drawn on the course.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to respect the course designer's wish.
Yeah.
And that certainly looks like Anniken just found the OB.
Oh my. Too much power.
Yeah, I'll have to check from UDisc, and that's true. UDisc says that Anniken went OB, and now she's putting for par.
Yeah. Lucky for her, she's putting for the par and inside circle 1 about 7 meters. 7 to 8. I mean,
that's a great par save.
Yeah.
And really, no wind to speak of.
No wind.
The leaves are just dead calm there.
Yeah, some droplets.
Silva Saarinen misses the putt.
Uncharacteristic from Silva. She's been the putting master.
She's one of the greatest putters in the FPO on the European side. Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
I would go as far as to say she's the best.
Yeah, up there with Kristin Tatar.
That's true.
Oh. Jaani Jansson wondering her grip there, but just slips it a bit early. And that's something you really have to take advantage on. Those short putts that you're given, if it's 6, if it's 7 meters, you have to put those in. On this course, there is not so much trouble or punishment on the putting greens as we saw in Krukol. There were those rollaways and the baskets were high on the mountain tops, and sometimes you just had to allow the layup.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to compare these two courses, they're very, very different. This is like old school disc golf.
Yeah.
Krukol is like the modern disc golf course where you really have to throw far, and there's all these OBs and lots of slopey greens and everything.
And this hole 3 is actually just a picturesque design for the European older style disc golf. As you can see, the top 10 at this moment, Matilda Ringboom from Sweden leading the tournament with 3 under for the round, and Sophie Anniken and Marianne Must there tied the second place, 1 down. Some of these players have already played 10 holes, 8 holes, and our feature card has just finished their 3rd.
Yeah, Matilda Ringboom, no pars yet.
Yep.
After 5 holes, just 4 birdies and a bogey, so it'll be an interesting round for her.
And we are moving forward to hole 4, which is a really difficult one compared to the last hole at least. 75% carding the bogey or worse. There is OB on the left side, but Sophie is just avoiding the OB.
That's true. OB on the left, OB long, also mandatory. What the players want to do here is to basically throw a putter or a mid a little bit like this.
This is fading a bit early, does it?
Yeah, you're right. A little bit early. I think Sophie a moment earlier was the perfect shot.
Yeah, and that's why you were talking about the mid-ranges and the putters, because the drivers have the ability to fade faster, and then they might be in the trouble for the OB on the left, or for Anniken on the left is Silva straight OB long.
And I assume that was a putter shot and still went way long.
Yeah.
So you really have to be careful with the speed control here. The hole makes a very sudden turn to the right. It's like a 90-degree turn, dogleg hole to the right after the Mando.
Yeah, the OB is manageable. I mean, the drop zone is manageable there. They can salvage the par from there, but it's still tricky. You really would like to have the birdie here. I mean, we don't have any birdies this day before these women. But if you control the power of your throw, you will have a chance to look at the birdie.
Yeah, the risk here is really to go OB long.
And Hanna Jansson might not have anything else but a layup to do.
And that's a sidearm shot we're looking at here. And there is a gap. But can you hit the gap? That is the question. You sure can.
Yep.
Think that will be outside of circle 2 even.
Sophie not in a great spot. It's really tough sweet spot to land. The OB is lurking just there inside that brick wall. I mean boulder wall. She makes it. It's a nice approach, just a bit short. But looking at the basket from circle 2. Silva now retrieving her disc.
And just to remind all of the viewers, the spotters are there to spot the disc, not to tell you where it went out. The group always makes the decision of where you continue your play.
And that's why Silva was asking from the others after she was
Yeah, for sure.
told where the light could be.
Yeah, that's for sure. They know the rules.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And Silva gets a nice kick there, and she will be putting for the par inside circle 1. And you're actually not using the drop zone if you go OB on the first shot. And Silva wasn't using the drop zone, so the drop zone is meant for the Mando, it seems like. Or then it's optional.
Yeah, drop zone only for the Mando. And Anniken is truly struggling here with the approach shot. That is a tough break. Not making it easy for her now.
Keeping the high spirit still. There you can see the green. It's a bit guarded with those trees. You'll have to choose your approach shot carefully. It's now Anniken's third, taking a slower disc. That's a nice approach.
Nicely done.
Anna Jansson, her third. Trying to get this under the basket. Oh, giving it a little
Goes long.
run even.
Leaves herself about 6 meters for the par. And like you said, no birdies on this hole yet to be seen. But what will do? Sofia Björluke.
Oh,
Was so close. So
Great run.
close for the first birdie of the day.
And if you can manage to take birdies from circle 2 here, you're really getting some nice time ahead of those other players. This green is playing a bit of uphill, a gentle slope from right to left. Silva for the par, and not able to commit there. Misses from the right side, and this is interesting to see from Silva, for she's been putting like a maniac on this season. We're hesitant to see if she can turn that putt to her side after this rough start. And you really need your putts here, Jaani.
Putting is very crucial. Especially here. I mean, it's always crucial, but especially on these kind of old school disc golf courses, you really need to get your putts in.
Silva had a powerful drive and a great upshot, but didn't commit to the putt. It was about 6 meters maybe. Now she will take the bogey, going 1 over for the round. Let's see some commercials at this moment. We'll be right back to you. And welcome back to Borås, Sweden, to see the Swedish Open 2023, the fourth stop of the Euro Tour. And here you can see some current conditions from the weather side of things. Temperature about 15 degrees Celsius and humidity over 50%. About small gusts also there, but in the forest side the wind is pretty calm. About an hour ago they had a big amount of water coming down from the skies. But now it's just some droplets as we see Sophie Björlycke driving the long downhill drive here, the whole 5. It's interesting to see Anniken here. Seems to be choosing a slower disc.
Oh man.
That's a shank on the left side. Does it roll?
I mean, this is certainly not a lefty course.
No.
So far, and even if this one is a fairly straight one, it still favors the righties a little
Anna
bit.
Jansson.
This is
Showing us how it's... Does it turn too much? That's a nice branch there. And she was turning way right there. So,
yeah, but she got the nice kick out of the woods, and it's a good spot to look for birdies. This is looking even nicer.
It's looking huge. Silva Saarinen. Oh my.
How did she get in the woods? Still very good spot for a birdie.
Just there on the right side, and the basket is straight down there, so Silva might actually be near circle 2's edge there. That was a long shot, 150 meters downhill, par 4. Straight shot from both, I mean, from the gold layout, what FPO is playing, that's even more of a straight shot, but you can see the basket there on the right side of the straight-ish fairway for the ladies.
Here Silva is getting a nice turn early. Just taking a little bit of bite off that tree, and
I mean, she's fine for the birdie.
a birdie here is a great result anyway.
One of the more easier holes here. 10 players equals 42% of the field taking the birdie, 42 taking the par, and tyvärr 4 players taking bogey overs. And tyvärr meaning unfortunately in Swedish. And as we saw from a couple of those earlier drives, if you fade as a backhand thrower, right-handed backhand thrower, if you fade to the left side of the woods, you can have some great rollouts onto the edge of the fairway. But Anniken didn't get any rollaways, so she had to lay up the fairway. Now Anniken is preparing her layup for the par. Just about on the middle of the fairway, distance-wise.
I mean, a lot of the times here in Ömergården, you just have to pitch out.
Sure. The roughs are rough. Anniken, gorgeous approach there. Straight line, about 5 meters left of the par. And for the MPO, this hole is actually almost 220 meters, and that's why you see the red 150 meters mark there. That's meant for the gold layout, and that's the mark that you have driven your disc 150 meters downhill. But on this round, we are not to care about that sign, as we see Sophie just on the right side of the fairway, looking at a slow approach. Look at this.
This is looking good.
Just a bit short there, but she's putting.
Yeah, but she's looking for the birdie now.
Yeah, sure. Sophie Björlücke, one of our veterans of the sport, currently still playing. She's a PDGA member since 2008. And this is actually her 100th PDGA career event.
That's a cause for celebrations, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
celebrate that with the victory,
and
making it actually her 50th win. So
yeah, that would be
a great percentage to win.
Yeah, if you have
50% of your
100 events and 50 wins, that would be a great.
I mean, that would make a storyline for sure.
Jansson, on the other hand, a newer player, but still 33 career events and 15 wins, so almost a 50%. And this is one of the reasons why she can really control those putter approaches. And then it's just about executing the putt. Hanna has been PDGA member since 2020. So just about 12 years after Sophie took her first license.
Yeah, and she already has a Swedish championship on her belt from last year, so she really picked up the game quite quickly.
And as you have seen in the tee box, on the fairways, in the roughs, these wet conditions, they are affecting everybody, and nobody's getting away. The discs might slip from the hands, your focus might slip from your mind. This is now Silva's second, and she's jump putting for the eagle.
That would have been something.
Yeah.
Getting an eagle on your first round. Just the 5th hole. So it's doable. It's doable for sure.
Yep. Local Hollywood sign there. Sophie just a bit high. No putting for the par. Greater distance that she would hope. Jansson for the birdie. Just a bit high. Into center, but just a bit high. Sophie grabs the par. That's important here at Umergårdens disc golf course, disc golf center. You really have to take those pars. You can't let the bogeys have you. Anniken Steen looking solid with that putt.
That's true. That's true.
She was struggling a bit last week at Crew Call, but now she's looking solid. One down still for the round, only one birdie, but some nice putts there. Compared to Silva.
Easy birdie now.
Yeah, Silva took an easy birdie, but she has already 2 bogeys, so she's now even for the round. And her putter, it's been feeling a bit slippery maybe during the rain weather there.
Wet and cold.
We'll go visit the hole 7, 2 holes ahead, and we'll see Jenni Karppinen. She's tackling this woodsy hole. Bit long there, but
Getting the nice skip though.
great skip into the bullseye for Jenni Karppinen. Taking the birdie, and actually her first birdie of the round. She took the bogey on hole 1 and then 5 straight pars, and now a birdie. She's even and well in the competition there. As we see the top 10, and Matilda Ringboom unfortunately taking a bogey, second bogey for her round, and it's pretty even there. But we have to remember many holes to be played here, at least for our feature card. They will have lots of opportunities to take some birdies if they can tackle the weather and the course.
Yep, we're just starting our weekend here. Everything is open.
And now on to hole 6. 91 meters par 3 uphill, and this is really hard to get if you wish a nice circle 1 birdie position. This has trees, this has uphill, this has the distance. Sophie Björlycke, she's gonna trust once again those flex lines, but now she didn't choose understable enough of a disc there.
Yeah, it seems like the uphill is eating out the distance. You really need an understable disc on this hole. Finally some lefty love from the course designer. Exactly that line.
Anniken. Great drive, but that's still so short. It's really hard. It really needs a big arm to get up there. I mean, look at this. We are not getting there. I mean,
Maybe on a good day.
yeah, that's a monster.
I mean, those are solid places for the second shot.
Yeah.
I definitely want a par here. There's no reason to actually bogey this one.
Yeah.
But a birdie is certainly a bonus.
Yeah, this is one of the few holes where you love the layup, as the spin doctor told us it at Crook Hall. But there are much fewer layup holes here at Ymergården. You can get some nasty kicks and therefore some nasty rollaways from these roots on the ground. And there is actually a little bit of a fence there before the basket, making a circle for the circle 1 and for the green. You have to make sure not to be too low on your approach.
Ooh. For a while I thought that was way to the right of the basket, but no worries there for Anniken Sten.
Anna Jansson, first second. Great approach there. And Silva Saarinen next on the line with the approach. And
Hugo, run pour la suivante.
you know, Jaani, I really have to visit hole 1 again, because I might be asleep. I'm looking at the scorecard, and Silva actually, she was putting inside circle 1, and she actually took the birdie there. That was her second, the putt. And she was one of the only 4 players taking the birdie there. So I'm sorry, Silva. Congrats for that great birdie. And that was a nice approach with a bit of run there from Silva. And as said, she's now even, 2 birdies, 2 bogeys. She's looking at another par and looking forward to get more birdies come the last 12 holes.
Yeah, Silva is one of those players that when you look at her play, you look like, okay, there's nothing special going on here. But after the round, you check out the results and see that, okay, she took a bunch of birdies there, but
Yeah.
you just didn't notice it because it was just so nonchalant. Everything's just, okay, I'm just putting this in.
Yep.
Nothing great going on here.
And because you just want to get a nice par opening your round there. You see Anniken, great putt once again in the middle of the pole. Center, taking the par as you shoot on this treacherous hole 6. And the next one is a bit different on the scale of hardness and execution. 85 meters, par 3. And it's actually going downhill. So
Up and down.
no wonder there are actually birdies on these holes. Go downhill. 4 birdies for the day before this feature card. There you can see the MPO card for the hole. These ladies are getting their scores done before moving on to hole 7. And there's the tee sign for the silver layout here at Yme Gordon. Silva Saarinen.
Going high.
Yeah, maybe
Was a bit too high.
hitting a tree, and now she's gonna have a interesting approach ahead of her. Sophie is looking much better. Just hitting a tree also. And you can find those trunks here on this hole 7.
And like you mentioned, the tee sign there, I think this plays a lot more steep, a lot steeper hyzer than the tee sign actually
Yeah.
tells you.
Yeah, and even though it's downhill, it's very, very subtle downhill. So if Annie can control those anhyzers, she might be well suited for this hole, but not this time.
Yet another hyzer hole. You don't even realize those things until you see a lefty player
Yep.
struggling with the anhyzer for the first
Yeah, let's
7
go
holes.
85 meters through the woods with an Anheuser. Sure, why not? Hanna Jansson taking the Jenni Karppinen route there. And that's fine, that's around circle 2. But there's definitely obstacles in her putt. Marvelous view there from the town of Puros.
Taking it easy there on the field.
Yeah,
Ouais, je
I
comprends.
might just join them after this day.
sure. Take me with you.
Enjoying the calm weather after the rain.
Yeah, we sure hope the rain is going to keep away. And Silva. Oh, what an approach there! Almost ringing the basket. About 6 meters left for the par. Björlücke, a bit of similar approach ahead. A bit more straight and hits a guardian tree.
There's
Still inside
plenty
circle.
of trees here. You just got to hit one of them.
I mean, you have to tackle them on hole 4, then you have to tackle them on hole 6. This hole number 7, this might be the smallest gap you have to hit, and it's all the way to the basket. Hanna Jansson on the right side. Oh, just under the basket. Great jump putt there from Hanna.
The course here is a lot different as we talked earlier than Crook Hall, but also if you compare it to the course that we are seeing in Disc Golf Pro Tour in the US, I think there's nothing like this. I really hope that the American FPO stars will join Sophie Björlücke and the others here.
And Sophie should join them soon enough. That's a great putt, just inside circle 1. Solid effort there. Center of the pole, and now Silva for the par. Yep.
In the MPO side, we have plenty of North American players this weekend.
That's going to be interesting to see how that card will tackle the forest, and if the weather stays humid, do they have those same struggles also later in the afternoon?
It also could be quite nice actually to play there after the rain, because at least here in Helsinki it seems like it's been a month since we had last rain, and
Yeah.
feels like it's taken away the energy already.
Yeah. Couple of thunderstorms here and there as we see Sophie Björlücke.
That's a nice save for the par.
Yeah.
Keep the spirits up.
Yeah, she
And
needed,
she's actually not playing that bad.
yeah, she needed that for the bogey-free round.
And as we compare Matilda Ringbom, she has 2 birdies in their first 8 holes, leading by 1. Sophie Björlücke was only 1 birdie, but also 6 pars. So there's so many ways to play.
Sure. This is Jenni Karppinen again, live on the hole 9. She misses the fairway there, but might be intentional. no, that's not.
The so-called local route.
Yep. Karppinen touring the northern countries and already calling herself a local. Lennartsson. That's a great miss from the tree.
All the meters.
Yeah. Great shot.
That's a great one. So very long hole here. All 956 meters. And yet again, slopes to the left.
And so this is 2 holes ahead of our feature card. We're going to be back here just in a minute as we see Wall driving the hole. Great shot. Perfect. Lykke Lorentzen. Seen in Norway just a week ago. Touring the European competitions after a while. Just a bit left there for Lykke. You can see those flags against the darkish grey sky. Puros, Sweden. Still have Matilda Ringboom leading the tournament with 2 under. Sofie Björlycke, Anniken Steen, Amanda Lennartsson and Nikola Moravkova. They're on the -1 for the round. And you're doing well on this course if you just manage to avoid those bogeys. For the first round you're still getting to know the course, at least for our feature card, getting to know the course with the cameras and all of that. So now we're moving to hole 8. The tee sign you can see there. We have a stone wall in the middle of the fairway, which is a great use of the environment. And this is the same hole for the MPO and for the FPO. It's 102 meters, par 3. And you have some OB behind the basket, so you really need to drive your disc with such a power that it doesn't go there, and the OB is before those rocks that you find behind the basket. And if you hit the rocks behind, you might still end up being OB. For the wall is not a solid structure. It has holes and it has bends and those things. So you're not safe if you just drive it through the green.
That's a funny thing you said about getting to know the course, because that certainly plays a role here. And I wonder if the Swedes have a certain advantage here, because it's an old course. I mean, it's been here for a while. And Sofia Björlycke is just a 90-minute drive away from where she lives. So yeah, she might have played this course many times.
Yeah, sure. Silva Saarinen, great drive there. A bit left, just outside circle 1. Björlycke after the great save on the putting green, using the flex line but hitting a tree there. She's gonna have a 40-meter upshot for the par. Anniken Steen. Oh, look at this. Another left-turning shot for Anniken.
Yeah. Sure.
Who would have thought?
Has to dial in the Annie angle.
And I mean, if nothing else, this is great practice for her.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
she's gonna find the struggles here if she can't commit to those angles. And I hope these righties are getting the feeling of what it's like to be on an advantage. Anna Jansson, great flip up. Does it miss the... No. 2 hits on that same birch.
Yeah, seems like the tree is there for a reason.
Let's take a replay on Silva Saarinen's drive here on hole 8. The power was perfect, but just a bit of too stable of a disc if we have to take some.
I mean, there's always something to improve on,
Yeah,
and
sure.
looks like Silva is really improving her distance
Yeah.
compared to last year, for example. That's part of her game that has been lacking because her putting is almost perfect. It's been like in those 90% areas about. Once she gets the distance dial, she'll be unbeatable.
And she had some unfortunate early releases and grip blocks on the last round of crew call last weekend, so maybe those last round final, lead card cheaters, maybe there's something that Silva still tackles, but I mean, that's something almost everybody of us.
Yeah, and I mean, she's still young and not that experienced, so when you get to play in the lead card, get to play for the win, you'll get the experience for sure, and it just gets easier from there.
And you can solid approach in the bullseye for the par. Jansson for second. And as we talked about, this is not a runnable approach because of the OB there just behind the basket.
Not runnable, but
That,
looks like she still did run.
Yeah, there's a soft run there, and she's juggling for the but it was a nice effort, but there is the risk of the OB. It's always there on this hole 8.
Well, luckily she managed to avoid it just barely. Looking for
no birdies still on this hole
par.
8. We're gonna see if Silva can make something happen. And here she is. Just tickles the chains there.
The putter has been a little bit cold for Silva so far.
Yeah, comparing to her other tournaments this season.
This boulder fence reminds me of Maple Hill for some reason.
Sure, I can see that. That's a nice save for Silva. Sophie Björk for the par. She's in bounds, but she's able to take the 1 meter off the OB line. Yep. Jansson taking the par. And we are almost through our front 9. 1 hole left. Here's Hanna Jansson's approach once again. She gave the run with the height. It's a nice place to land. almost inside the bullseye. Once again, your top 10 at this moment. Matilda Ringboom still 2 under through 9 holes. And 4-way tie for the second place. A bit of a slow start here at Umergårdens Disc Golf Center, Borås, Sweden.
And all of our top 10 there, a very close range of each other. Only a couple of shots separating the tied 9 and the first one.
The last hole of the front 9. Surprise, surprise, it's the number 9.
Wow.
Wow.
It's
what
magic.
What a logic there. Yeah. Tapping myself onto the head.
And yet again, sloping to the left. It's a par 4. Going through the gap. Fading to the left. And, well, basically a hyzer shot.
Basically, yes, but still no birdies today on this hole, and only 33% of the players able to get the par. So this is really a difficult hole to tackle.
I mean, if you don't hit the gap, you really have to struggle to get your par. And like always, the camera doesn't actually do justice for the gaps. Silva is making a great effort there. But is it a little
It's
bit
a little bit
short?
too left. Yeah, to a left.
Yeah. This is early.
But does it fight through?
Yeah, this is the local route again.
Sure, why not?
Making the Mando.
Yeah.
The non-existent Mando. There is really no Mando, no OB. One of the rare holes here in Umergården where you don't actually have to worry about the OB.
But you need to worry about your angles on these Anheuser shots if you're a lefty. Too much of a turn. And that's somewhere you don't want to be. Hanna Jansson. Wants this to come left, back again. It's fine, it's just the right side. Actually, just one drive from Sophie Björlycke in the middle of the fairway, and all these other 3, they need to find something to grab the par.
Silva Saarinen may have a place.
Sure.
Well, we didn't see the exact location of the disc, so that's yet to be seen.
Birdie is also something that's yet to be seen for Hanna Jansson today. Only 2 bogeys there on the holes 1 and 3. Then the rest of them, they are pars. If she can turn those bogeys into birdies next round and keep those pars coming, a birdie here and there, it's looking solid come the end of the tournament.
Yeah, you can go.
And if you are just joining us, welcome to see the live stream through Disc Golf Network. We are at the 4th stop of the Euro Tour 2023. We are in Borås, Sweden for the Swedish Open. And on the opening day, we have the FPO field tackling the difficult woodsy course of Ymergårdens Disc Golf Center. Anniken Steen, the Norwegian lefty, approaching here. We'll see where that ended soon enough.
That was a stab in the dark.
Anna Jansson, last year's Swedish champion. She's in a fine spot here.
Looks okay. And once again, I just have to admire the blanks there. They are covering the trees. Something that most of the courses needs or would need.
Yep. There you can see the basket. It's really not an easy green to get to. Hanna gets a kick from the tree, surprise, surprise. And she's left with about 40, 45 for the basket. Sophie Björlöke got into a nice position, but still, she'd like to have about 10 meters more from the tee to be in the center of the gap. It's looking great if it can miss those trees. And can't.
Just straight in the middle.
Yeah, I think she's just outside the circle one, so maybe looking at a soft run there.
Not sure if she's able to putt from there. It's an uphill, a bit of an uphill, and looks like it just goes too far away. Stands too far away from the basket. We're about to see that.
And if there's someone who knows that a par from this hole is a nice option to take, it is Sophie Björlöke. She's been playing here and she knows the course. She will have other opportunities to attack, but Silva is really far away from the tee.
Yeah, there is a chance. I mean, look at this. There is a gap, or plenty of gaps.
Taking the hyzer. And she's under the...
Does it?
She's under the basket, basically.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great birdie.
Wow. And the only birdie for the day.
Yep. Solo birdie for Silva.
If Sophie Björlöke is not to run that, and
that's
not able to get, but
yeah, let's not call it just
yet.
Yeah,
we definitely have one birdie here on the day. Let's say that way. And big thanks to our American followers, especially if you are joining us now live. It's about 4 a.m. in the morning or something, 4:30.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere you live in America, it's early.
Yeah, it's even either it's early or really late. So
yeah, I mean,
thank you either way there.
Yeah, it's all about this perspective.
And we certainly hope all our friends there on the other side of the big pond that you've been enjoying these European courses and these European players tackling the courses, and of course you also have some American flags here and there. And this is Lykke Lorentzen, a Norwegian player on hole 10. And the woods continue here. Looking great from the tee, that drive, yeah. Anna Jansson's third, and It's near the bullseye for the par. Just about 50% fairway hitch even on this. It's hole 9. And again, 63% carding the bogey or worse. And Sophie Björlücke deciding to lay up wisely, taking the par. And we will have only one birdie on this hole 9 today, Friday, the opening day. Took her par, and now Anniken for the par. Silva for the birdie. Yep, sure thing. That's a clearly 1 point ahead of the whole field.
Yeah, you can definitely call it a bonus birdie. Sophie Björlücke there continuing her par streak with 1 birdie on hole 3.
Yeah, 6 pars in a row for Sophie. And this is Jenni Karppinen on hole 10. And an unfortunate double bogey there. Yeah, we'll see short commercial break here. We'll be back with you soon.
All the scoring that we do in our sport now is all digital. Having some sort of backup power source is going to be really important. You feel that it's good quality product. And having a stash pack that holds the cable that connects to any device, it just works. And so that's why this thing really works for me.
You want to play through?
It's parked.
When you first sign up for a PDJ membership, you're given a PDJ number. Your PDJ number is a stamp for when you got involved in the sport. It's a badge of pride for players and a part of your disc golf identity. Get your number today. Visit pdj.com/join.
And we will see the hole 10, the first hole on the back 9 of the Ymer Gordons Disc Golf Center, the silver layout. And this is a new tee set up this year, 2023, for the silver layout. And the FPO field is tackling this a bit shorter course. Silva Saarinen again getting a nice stop, would you say, Jaani?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the worst of kicks.
She definitely had some power on that drive. Sophie Björlücke trying something similar and just gets a...
No, yeah, I mean, it was okay putting for the birdie. And to be honest, birdie is something you really expect to have here.
And Anniken Steen hasn't been this happy in a while.
Now a higher shot for the lefty.
Does it, Heiser?
Maybe a bit too late though.
Yeah, yeah. Putting just outside the circle one. And Hanna Jansson now. Again, that understable driver of hers. Steering nicely. And just a bit short there, but on the edge of the circle.
Putting really is crucial here in Ymergården.
We'll go see Jenni Karppinen. She's on hole 11. Driving her way this par 3. Looking great. Great job from Jenni Karppinen. Looking at another birdie after that first in a while in hole 10, and yeah, sad thing that double bogey there on hole 9 for Jenni. Here is your leaderboard. It's
Tight
pretty
battle.
even all around.
Tight battle.
Yep.
I mean, the course doesn't separate players that much. And really comes down to putting, because all of these players, they are playing for the birdie. They can be playing for the birdie on most of the holes, but you have to have the putter hot.
Oh, Anniken
Just
Steen.
like Anniken Steen here shows us.
Great job outside the circle. That's almost from the circle 2's edge.
Yeah, 18 meters says U-disc, and we believe it. We really are seeing a putting competition here.
Yeah, that's what you should expect here at the Ymergårdens. If you can establish a solid putting round, you will get some separation. And you're gonna see lots of these, just outside or just inside circle 1. And if you can do this, then you're on a solid round. Great job from Silva.
Yeah, that's Silva Saarinen we've used to see on previous tournaments. A great birdie.
Yeah.
Takes her under par for the round.
2 under now after birdie.
That's
so she's actually tied now for the first place with Anniken Steen. Hanna Jansson looking at the putting fest here. I mean, the front 9, they were just caring about those putts, but now on the back 9, let's go. Sophie taking the par. Great job from our feature card. 3 birdies and 1 par. This is one of the shorter holes, but it's definitely not a simple one for the angle you have to control. And there is actually also OB on the right side on this hole 10 that usually doesn't come to play. But if you kick from the tree right side, you might find it. As was Sigerud, Norway, where the Krukol course was. I mean, Buros is it's a beautiful place, and you really should visit there if you have the chance. Have you happened to visit there yourself yet, Jaani?
I haven't been there, but looks pretty nice place. I mean, Swedish small towns are quite picturesque.
Yeah, they are. Sure are. And here's Anniken Steen again. From circle 2. Nice scorecard there to have. 2 birdies, just pars.
Yeah, looking very solid for the Norwegian.
We are on the tee of hole 11, which is a par 3, 89 meters. And again, going to the right side, but you need to do this.
That was close.
Yeah, sure. It was really close for Silva Saarinen. What a shot.
Now also Anniken Steen
Yeah.
can throw a Hodger shot.
Yeah, she's happy once again.
Sure. Well, there are lots of Hodger shots for both righties and lefties now. This is looking solid.
Yeah. Putting for sure. Hanna Jansson. As you can see, they are choosing the backhand here, even if you are a righty. So this is not a forehand hole specifically. It goes a bit uphill and it's a long one for the forehand. And this is too tight. Does it get? I mean, it's fine. It's in the corner there. The nice bridge there to the tee. That's those so small things that you can see here in Scandinavia and in Europe. Those small things that you have on these courses that make the experience even greater.
This looks a bit low to me.
Kicks left, but looking at the par, I'd say.
It's a bad kick though, as you said.
Seen some par 3s, and now after this we are having a par 4 once again. Then before the last hole we just have par 3s to go, and they have some different things coming up for this FPO feature card. Even though those woods there look fairly open and you might get your approaches through those trees, but it's not really simple thing to do. Hanna definitely choosing the widest gap. The right side there, interesting.
That's a good one.
Interesting, but she gets through and she's there for the par. Proving me wrong. That's a local route, should we say. Jansson also knowing this course very well. Sophie found her disc.
This is definitely runnable.
Yeah, that's safe. Safe one to run. Doesn't take any time.
Probably wasn't running for that, just taking the easy par. And I think that's also smart.
Yeah.
Just to take the birdies that are given and not stress about the others.
And on this first round, at least we have to establish the basics for our round here. Anniken Steen after a great putt on the hole 10. Can she get this one in for the birdie? And, and again outside circle 1. Anniken Steen back to back.
Her putting has been on point.
Those two colored putters of her really working. we're left to see if those ones keep on working for her. Jansson for the par. Yep. And there you can see that last one to putt is Silva Saarinen, and she hasn't thrown a second shot here on this hole, so she's in the bullseye for the birdie. And that's Silva's third birdie in a row, so Turkey coming up. And she's just waiting for the...
That's a polite thing to do, actually, to wait for the other ones to tee off when you're about to rattle to change.
Thank you.
Once again, Anniken Sten with a big putt for the birdie, continuing her bogey-free round with a 3-under score after 11 holes.
Dream scorecard there for Anniken Sten. We've had some beautiful putts there, Jaani, on the start of the back nine, and some solid basic opening round for the FPO.
Sure, we've seen Anniken Sten with a very solid start for the tournament after 11 holes, 3 under. And I mean, she's a lefty player.
Yep.
And the front nine, yeah, it's basically playing for the righties, and as soon as she got a couple of hyzer holes for herself, just destroying the holes here. Silva Saarinen also playing great now, 3 birdies in a row, sitting at 3 under, sharing the lead with Anniken Sten and Sofia Björlycke. Also a bogey-free round so far, but no birdies. Or I mean, only one on hole 3, but
yep,
it's enough to keep her there in top 3.
And another nice statistics there for Anniken Sten. She's first in the scramble percentage, 100. She's first in circle 1 putts and first in circle 2 putts. So everything's going in 100% on all the putts she has made. Anniken Sten took her license in 2018. She currently has 55 career events and 28 wins, so solid career there going for Anniken. Silva Saarinen actually also taking her first membership, the PDGA, in the same year, 2018, and she has 54 career events and 20 wins.
Yeah, the European FPO players making their way up in the ranks.
Puis j'ai peur de le décalibrer si je fais ça en fait, c'est ça qui est chiant.
There we could see Lykke Lorentzen approaching her way on the par 4. This can be a tricky one, as you can see just behind the basket there. And this is live. You are watching from the hole 12, 161 meters, par 4. There's Wall going for the local route. Great shot.
Yeah. Sneaking through the trees.
Beautiful forest road there going through this fairway. And on this moment we'll see the course close-up from UDisc, the app for disc golfers. Just to remind you, we are at Bramhall, Sweden, if you are just exact, and Umergårdens Disc Golf Center, and the 5th best ranked course in Sweden, rated 4.5 on UDiscs, and it's built in 2010, but we have 9 brand new holes on 2022. It's a par 60 for the gold layout, 1,985 meters, so on the shorter side compared to those other courses. There you have some holes to watch, keep your eye on out. And UDisc actually has over 14,000 disc golf courses there, so there weren't so many when you started playing, Jaani.
No, and there was no UDisc back then. I started in the year 2000, and certainly we had only the word of mouth.
Yeah, sure.
If you wanted to go somewhere, is there a disc golf course? I don't know. Let's call some local people I know there. Now it's so easy when you travel around the world. You can just check UDisc if there are any courses near you.
And here you have some upcoming events from the Euro Tour 2023. We are currently at Swedish Open, but next week we have Skellefteå Open, and then we have PCS Sula. Then after that we have European Open, but after the European Open we come back to the Åland Open for the Euro Tour. Some great coverage coming at you guys. Remember to subscribe to Disc Golf Network, because after this first opening day you won't see anything on the YouTube side of things. And subscribing to Disc Golf Network, I mean, you have to say it's cheap. You get all this coverage. On this weekend you have 2 tournaments going on live on Disc Golf Network, and you can see the rounds after those from our services. So please consider subscribing so we can come to you with the best live disc golf coverage in the world. Some current weather conditions there. Humidity a bit down there, 46%, about 6 meters per second, 30 miles per hour.
A bit on the chilly side.
Yeah, sure, compared to the crew call or
here in Helsinki.
Yeah,
it's scorching hot.
Yeah. This is live from the hole 12, par 4, and Jenni Karppinen. She doesn't like that. You can't miss low here.
That was an easy mistake for Jenni Karppinen. She'll have to settle for bogey.
And she will have to forget about that one. There is this paradox in disc golf where you really need to forget the shot you just took. If it was good, if it was bad, you have to forget it and go forward. But still you have to kind of remember it. If it was a putt like that, you have to remember, don't put low. This is Lennartsson from the same hole 12 just a while ago. This is how you do it. In the center for the birdie.
And it's very crowded there in top 10.
Yep.
Just a couple of shots separating our players there in top 10.
And our feature card is just about ready to tee off there on the hole 12 as our feature, as our second card just got away from their path. And this is the woodsy disc golf for you all there at the home screens. Sometimes you have a bit of a break to have some morning coffee or late evening tea or on whichever time you are watching the show. Anniken Steen.
This is looking fabulous.
Through those two smaller trees there. She's looking solid. Anna Jansson.
Oh, nicely done there.
Yep.
Right in the middle of the fairway. For a bit of a backup. It's not easy to get your muscles warmed up for a big drive like this after standing there waiting for your turn for like 10 minutes or so.
This is Silva Saarinen. Just a second ago and almost getting through everything, but she's in the middle of the fairway.
No bad breaks for our players here. The roughs are really rough. So lucky for them, they don't have to deal with the woods there on either side of the fairway.
T'as l'impression que tu marches sur des nuages.
Silva choosing the standstill shot for her approach. This is turning nicely and doesn't get through.
As you were saying, it was turning nicely, but a little bit too late.
Yeah, not enough.
She has to pay the price, though there might be a gap for a long putt. I think I saw Silva checking the scores on her U-disc. I'm not that convinced that it's a smart move to do, smart move to make at this point, because we're just starting the tournament. The scores doesn't really play a role yet.
Yeah, that's something some players do. They start looking at the scores right after the tournament starts, or some players, they just look at in the last few holes, and some players even don't look at the scores. But that's something that
I mean,
you're gonna find.
At this point, it doesn't affect your game whatsoever.
Yeah, 100%.
You're anyway playing your own game. You're not playing playing safe golf just because of the scores. You're not attacking holes differently because we're just starting here. Stick to your game plan.
And you can see there, not enough commitment there on her second shot. And Anna Janssen, it's a great view for the basket. Is high, can it turn? No. And still gets through, that's a lucky one.
That's a great place for a birdie.
There is a genius setup of smaller trees there on the left side just before the green, so if you are not committing to the turn on your approach, you might get jailed up in there. Getting closer to the green. Smiles on their faces, that's the main thing on this first day. Get your tournament started. Get a nice view on the hole and on the course. Sophie in a bit of trouble here. She was looking at her hand after the second shot and with some grip issues. I wouldn't wonder why.
That's an unfortunate hit. The first trees going for the sidearm roller, but
she's gonna need some
no luck
circle
there.
two action if she wishes to save the par.
I think Silva can go for it.
Yeah, it looks like.
For sure. There's a gap.
Yeah.
Just pretty open, actually. Might give it a run. Oh, it hits the branches.
Yeah.
I think she even didn't see them, and I didn't see them before she hit them. So,
yeah, but she's in for the par.
Invisible branches.
Yeah.
They're all over the place, actually. Every time I play the invisible branches, they ruin my game. It's not about me, it's about the branches.
Yeah, they get me too. Yeah, I'm perfect.
Yeah.
Those branches, they get in your way.
Yeah.
That's why I always carry an axe.
Yeah. Or bags that can carry chainsaws in them, those small ones.
Sophie, this is for par.
To maintain the bogey free.
She doesn't have enough commitment. She will be taking her first bogey, and it is actually just Anniken Steen left for the bogey-free round here. She's now putting for the birdie. She was just a bit short on her approach, but she'll take what she has. Nice run there. 4 meters for the par.
Also, definitely a bonus birdie.
Yeah, this is 161 meters, fairly straight, but as you can see in the end there is some flexing to do with your disc. There's only been one birdie here, Amanda Lennartsson, who we saw just moments ago.
And now Hanna Jönsson.
Yeah, this is for birdie.
Also for birdie from a very good spot.
And she gets it!
Yeah.
Great job from Hanna.
Way to go.
Yeah, getting lucky with those trees there on the left side and then cutting the birdie.
And that will take her back to par for the first time.
Yeah.
Actually on this round.
Yeah, sure. That's a nice even scorecard for Hanna. And now this is Sophie for bogey. Taking it, moving forward. And Anniken Steen keeping the bogey-free round going. Silva a bit high there. She was wondering herself, why did I do that? But that stayed in.
Giving us a small bits of excitement here.
We are seeing Amanda Lennartsson. She's putting for one birdie more. That's a nice catch there.
2 in a row.
She's now in third place with -2 for the round with those 2 birdies just a while ago, and Silva Saarinen and Anniken Steen leading the tournament with a double score of -3 for the round. They are through 12 holes, so 2/3 gone on this first round here at Ymmergårdens Disc Golf Center. We're at the Swedish Open 2023, the 4th stop of the Euro Tour. What are we seeing, Jaani? We are seeing some solid drives and solid putts, but is this a slow start, would you say so?
Well, in general, it's been a little bit slower than I anticipated, but it can happen. It's the first round after all, and the weather is a little bit chilly. It's been a lot chillier than expected. Maybe also the slight rain we had in the morning is still affecting the players. They're not getting that hot so fast. But now we've seen some birdies in a row happening. So, but the last stretch could also be a little bit tough. I don't know. It's been there's lots to see.
Yeah, and it's early to say how these competitors in this tournament are tackling the front nine versus the back nine. If someone, some is easier than the other, but we are certainly seeing some solid improvements there on the putting green. I like circle 2 putts for Anniken Steen, 2 in a row, and some great efforts there.
Yeah, exactly. And I really anticipated that this will come down to putting. The fairways, they don't separate people. So the players, they always can get to circle 2, circle 1. Maybe going for the birdie, but the question is, can you make the birdie? On this course especially, you need to get the birdies. It's not that, it's always hard to play well, and I mean no matter what the course is, but relative to the par, this is on the easier side.
Sure.
So you have to get lots of birdies here.
And we are moving to the hole 13. We have 2 baskets here. One for the silver and one for the gold. And the FPO is playing the straight one. We have some birdies, 3 of them. And we have some pars and unfortunate 46% still taking the bogey over. So you have some trees to tackle here. Silva Saarinen, your champion from last week's Crew Call Open. Getting through almost everything. She's not in the circle at least. Anniken Steen. Yet another straight or a bit from right to the left hole for this Norwegian lefty. But this is looking solid. Sure, great job.
Yep. Looks like the bogey free is gonna hold up.
She's on the edge of the circle. Sophie Björlycke, almost a local here. Relying again on those lightweight driver of hers. She's been doing some great efforts with that disc, but just a bit low this time. This is Anniken Steen again. Gorgeous drive. Just a bit low, but really, really great job.
Yeah, looking for another birdie.
Circle 1 putting 100%. And circle 2, 2 out of the 3 circle 2 putts, she canned them. So great job from Anniken. Next one, Sophie Björlycke. 2 wins on this season from her 4 tournaments. They both are from the Swedish Pro Tour. Nice layup there, just outside the bullseye.
Just that, I think.
Hanna Jansson. See if she'll run this. She definitely was.
I think that was a run, yeah.
Sure.
But also not taking any stupid risks.
Yeah.
Like 30% going in and 70% laying up. Something like that.
Silva. Ooh, nice run there. A bit long, actually.
A bit long. That's true.
And she hasn't been as hot with the putter today as she was at Krugvall and those other events. So we certainly hope she can can the par and move on. Taking the next gear, taking the raincoat off and settling in for the rest of the round.
And Anniken Sten cannot take the birdie from relatively short range.
Yeah, she was well inside circle 1, but just not enough commitment there.
And this might be one of those holes that you really want to get.
And Silva now for the par. Yep. Taking it down, that's important. An important putt for Silva. Yeah, relatively short one, but she has missed those this round. I believe 2 of them, and all those 2, they were from the right side chaining out.
So a little bit late releases there for Silva.
Sophie Björlycke now for the par. And many of these holes, even if the FPO is playing the silver layout, if you miss the gap and if you don't execute perfectly, the birdie might be out of the competition. I mean, you know from your hand, when the disc leaves your hand, you know if you can get the birdie.
Yeah, sometimes you know it even before you step up the tee that this is not going well.
Yeah, and there is only 12 holes. I mean, there's only 6 holes where the par is something else than a 3. So we have 6 par 4s and 12 par 3s on this Umergårdens Disc Golf Center silver layout. The gold layout has 1 more par 4, so it's 7 par 4s for the men. So we see the beautiful view from Borås, Sweden. Some top 5 leaderboard there on the right side of the corner. If you are just joining us, a great early morning there for our American viewers, and a nice little lunchtime disc golf action for all our European viewers. Straight from the booth from Helsinki, my name is Esa-Pekka Tupala and I have with me the spin doctor himself, Jaani Lansio. Let's see how Silva Saarinen is doing at this tournament. As we said, she won the Krukol Open last weekend and we'd say one of the most important wins on her career.
Definitely. I would say the biggest win. Of course, she's no stranger to podiums and has taken some wins throughout her relatively short career.
Yeah, 20 wins out of 54 events.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah. And usually she's high there on that podium on those Circle 1 putting stats, but today she's on the 8th place with 75% made.
Yeah, before the final round last weekend, she was she 100% from C1X? The last round wasn't that impressive, but the putting is definitely her forte. So if she can just manage to get back to those high 80 percentages, she'll definitely battle for the win. And of course she's leading at the moment.
Yeah. Some high 80 percentages here on this hole 14, the par 4. The green is fairly simple here if you manage to get there, but still, it's really far away. It's 98 meters, a bit of uphill, so there are no birdies. Until, before our feature card teeing off here. 63% pars, though. Anniken Steen. Driving a flex line. This is great.
Yeah, this is again a little bit favoring the lefties, but that's only fair after the front 9, which was quite a Heiserfest for us righties.
And Sophie Björlycke
is there a local
releasing? I bet she's misreleased that one. That's way too right.
There could be a local route too.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah. There is the Guardian tree in the middle of the fairway, and you can go right side of that. But I think she chose a bit of too unstable of a disc or something that she couldn't hyzer into the fairway. I bet she was playing for the par, knowing that the birdie here is out of her reach. And while Anniken Steen, she had a great drive, but she's in circle 2, but there is a Guardian fence there and protecting also those 2 spruces there. Yeah, that's a tough putt. We'll see if she'll run that.
When the camera angle shows this much of an uphill, it's a lot more in nature. So it definitely plays more than 98 meters. It's a long one.
Sure is.
Oh, it's
Sophie has some decisions to make here.
Tough line.
For Sophie Björlycke.
There are options. She can go for the sidearm skip from the left side of the fence, or that left a little bit for desiring.
Yeah, and that's really tough to save the par.
Yeah.
Looking at another bogey if she doesn't commit.
That probably came out of the woods.
Yeah.
Well, we have to see where the disc landed, if there is actually a place for her to putt.
Anna Jansson, her second. This is a really great opening drive. just a bit too much of a commitment, but she'll take the par. And you can see there's the OB lurking outside the circle 1. I mean, almost inside the circle 1, should we say.
Yeah, that looks pretty close, and I'm not sure if Jansson is satisfied with that shot, because seemed like it's stuck in her hand and was aiming for the OB, but luckily stopped it just before the line. Now, Anniken, I think there is a gap for her.
Yep, she's running. And yeah, a soft run just to avoid the OB and the rollaways and all those nasty stuff. And the flag up on the basket, it's pretty still. So nice conditions when considering the wind, but not so nice when considering that the grass is really humid, wet. And this is Silva.
I mean, it hits the basket anyway.
Yeah. Great opening shot there.
Sofia Björlük after a tough approach.
Yeah, and
canning the par, that was important booster for her mentality.
yeah, and I'm happy I was wrong. It seemed to be that she would be under those branches still, but she got forward from them and cutting the par. Great save. Jansson for the par. Last year Swedish champion, showing us how it's done. You can stand taking the par, as does Silva.
And here comes the sun, finally.
It's the sun.
Finally.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you, sun, for
joining us.
Yeah, here at the Disc Golf Network. Opening day of the 4th stop of the Euro Tour 2023. We are visiting Umergården's Disc Golf Center here at Borås, Sweden. Still about 15 degrees Celsius, so pretty chilly compared to Krukol and Konopiste.
But things are going to change fast if the sun just sticks around with us.
We're going to visit Lykke Lorentzen on hole 15. And her drive. Great job, Lykke. Missing that tree there in the corner. Here you can see some leaderboard behind us, and man, it's getting great. I mean, we hope the weather just keeps on performing better.
Yeah, I mean, the morning was tough. Just looking at those players wearing the raincoats. We didn't see rain, luckily, but we saw a little bit of wind, and definitely it was cold. Now the scores are getting hotter, the weather is getting hotter, the commentating is getting hotter.
Sure thing, yeah. We have a pretty much a warmish temperature here at the studio.
All the artificial sun we have here.
In Helsinki, we don't have any clouds at this moment, so about 27, 28 degrees outside there.
It's been so hot for 3 weeks.
Yeah, and we certainly hope the action keeps on getting hot there on the course in Sweden. And thank you again for joining us, even if you're joining on the YouTube side, so please consider subscribing to Disc Golf Network to see the second and the third round. So it's great to see you all here. And we have, I think, 4 or 5 holes to go. 4 holes to go, yeah, sure.
Exactly, and I think we're going to see some more birdies.
Yeah.
I mean, they really have to up their game, because birdies are here for grabs. You just have to take them.
Yep. 3 more par 3s and 1 par 4 to finish the round. And first up we have the hole 15 for the FPO. It's 76 meters, turning slightly to the right. And again, good for you, Anniken Steen, as a lefty. And there is the OB line lurking again with that rocky fence there. Great job from the designer group, ensuring that we get to see all those beautiful structures here at Umergården.
I mean, we're looking at an old school Scandinavian disc golf hole right there.
Yeah, welcome to Scandinavia.
Yeah, I mean that's the demo version.
Yeah, that's where we practice.
Yeah,
for the American golf golf greens and everything.
Yeah.
That's where you take your first putter, brand new, and after finishing that hole for the first time with the brand new, the putter is beat up.
That's true, and so are the trees.
Yeah, sure. And they've done some great work here at Umergården to protect those precious trees. We saw some great things on the front nine protecting those trunks.
Yeah, protect the nature. Without the nature, we wouldn't have great disc golf.
And appreciate the nature you can see whilst playing disc golf. Some beautiful venues we get to visit. So we are seeing our feature card, the last card of the day, opening the hole for hole 15.
76 meters, 249 feet.
That's a bad kick. And another great kick.
Yeah.
One bad and one good. That's what you get. And that's what you hope to get after the first bad one. Hanna Jansson on the fairway. So we get to see Silva Saarinen.
Getting the turn.
This is looking great. Stop before the OB. Oh,
Yep.
that's perfect.
That's
wow.
it. That's it.
And that might be the best drive of the day. This is not a simple fairway to hit and to tackle with. Anniken, how does a lefty do it?
Looks simple enough for her.
And
But
stay.
takes a nasty kick out of the circle one, and that's
Yeah.
unfortunately inside the miniature bush.
Yeah. Sophie Björlycke gets a nice turn. Yeah, almost too much of a fade, but she's looking circle 2 putt for the birdie. But
And that's a. I'm sorry to disrupt you there, but just had to point out that there is the OB.
yeah,
That is. I mean, that certainly is in the play.
yeah, sure. Yeah, you certainly can find the OB on this very hole. There are some OBs on this course that really don't come into play, but yeah, let's see how Lykke Lorentzen did. This was a great drive with the forehand, just missing the last tree on the corner. She was putting for the birdie.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised that we didn't see sidearm shots.
Yeah.
From our righties, and look at the
Look
wind.
at the wind.
Here.
I was just about to say.
What's happening?
What's this?
It was sunny just a second ago, and now we're looking at a stormy weather.
Yeah, that's Swedish summer for you. Hanna Jansson taking the more confident route there on the right side and not messing with the OB.
And looks like they're wearing the raincoats again. So
that's about it. Thank you, Sun, for visiting us here.
That was a 15-minute nice break from the weather. Lunch break.
Yeah,
the clouds.
And the flag is going wild there on top of the basket, at least compared to moments ago. Sophie Björlycke for the birdie.
And is this in?
Oh,
so close.
Such a great effort there from Sophie Björlycke. Wow, what a way to run that uphill, circle 2.
Yeah, that was a courageous thing to do.
Next up. Anniken Steen, just outside circle 1.
From the baby trees there,
Yep.
taking the straddle putt.
And headwind. And that stays luckily there. Very soft of a run.
Yeah, I think that was a timid run. And now look at the flag.
Yeah, that's picking up. Silva has those 30 seconds, but she doesn't wait for them to go on because she can just have a birdie.
Wind was going nowhere anyway. I mean, you can wait all day, but
Yeah.
that's not going anywhere.
And this is one of the windiest greens here at Umergården Disc Golf Center. And Sophie Björluk fighting the headwind. And Anniken dropping in for the par. No casualties there. 1 birdie from Silva Saarinen. Great effort there on the opening drive, and then 3 pars.
Yeah, Silva is playing solid here. Like 3 down for the pack 9. Total of 4 down. When 3 holes are yet to be played.
Two par 3s and 1 long par 4 coming up. But those par 3s, they are over 90 meters both. So about 300 feet for all of our American guests here at the stream. And again we have 1 hole ahead of us on which we don't have any birdies today. Playing second in difficulty, 45% still able to get the par, but 55% carrying the bogey or worse. 92 meters par 3, turning right as this hole 15, but it's longer. And we'll see if Anniken, I mean, they're looking at each other. Where's the wind? There was just wind there, and now there's nothing.
Yeah, now it's sunny again. I mean, the weather is playing tricks on us all.
Yep.
And judging by the T sign, it looks like there's some rain, drizzle, but probably not.
Yeah, look at the beautiful summer day there.
Yeah.
Sun is shining again. It was just a hole 15. That has the storm, and the other holes have summer. We'll take a short commercial break here, and we'll be back with you soon enough.
Yeah, baby, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Your dynamic disc open champion, Parker Wells.
And back with you from Sweden through Helsinki to all of you there on the other side of the screen. We are opening the 4th event on Disc Golf Network with Disc Golf Network at the Eurotour 2023. We are in Sweden, and Umergården Disc Golf Center is showing us some struggles and some beautiful fairways and some crazy putts.
Crazy putts, crazy weather though.
Yeah.
I mean,
should address that.
When you're playing a tournament and you have those little jitters, get a little bit more excited than you would like to when you're playing, and then you have to focus on the weather.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to focus on anything else but throwing the disc. But then you have to take off the jacket and maybe take off the sweater and maybe, I don't know, umbrellas and everything. You have to hassle all the time with some extra things on your hand and like, okay, what do I do next? I hope it stays calmer from here on out.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun to see how the weather is changing all the time, and it's just part of disc golf.
Yeah, that's disc golf in Scandinavia for you. We are going to see Silva open the hole 16. A difficult par 3, and she doesn't get through. She might have some obstacles on her second shot.
It's looking good.
Yep, solid shot there from Hanna Jansson, last year's Swedish champion. And now for the lefty. I'm interested to see this.
Yet again, a little bit of a lefty hole.
Anniken has distance, but this is fading too early. Yeah.
She didn't get the turn, though a 92-meter shot, hyzer shot, might just be out of her reach. But with her putting today, I bet she was looking for the birdie. First of the day on this hole.
Yep. I believe we have had 3 or 4 holes today on which we hadn't had any birdies before our feature card came on those, and even all of them, I mean, any of them could not succeed in those birdies on every those holes. And again, some great protection for those trees there, making sure the nature can continue its way, although we are visiting the park here and then.
Yeah, I mean, we woke up to this issue a bit late on my home course, Tali Disc Golf Course. There are a lot of dead trees. It's been around for 23 years, and I see a lot of trees that can't grow any branches anymore, no leaves whatsoever. They've been taking a beating.
Yep. Those were the times when disc golf was not so popular and not too much known, and there is a Mando here on this hole 16, and it seems like Sophie Björlycke has found the wrong side of the Mando. Oh, then she found the OB.
Yeah, I think she went OB.
Yeah. And there's one OB stick again. We're left to see if she stayed inside. Yeah, she found the OB actually on the right side. She made the Mando, but then she went OB after the Mando. Yeah, my mistake there. Sorry for that. Now Anniken almost in the same place, and there's Silva's disc also, it would seem like. Anniken has a tricky upshot there. Great job.
Great job.
Perfect.
Absolutely fantastic.
I mean, look at the line she had. That was really difficult. Silva has almost the same thing.
And just to point out, Anniken Steen, no bogeys yet.
Yep.
And that's something to behold.
And that's a bad kick for Silva. Outside circle 2 maybe for the par. Yeah, for sure. That's
struggling.
Even more struggles for Silva. And She's looking at her third bogey on the round, and that's not going to be easy for her.
Mm-hmm.
And Anniken is putting for the par very near the basket, and this can mean that if Silva isn't able to pick up that bogey, Anniken is going to take your solo first place on the tournament with the par. This is Hanna Jansson. This was a great drive. She's in for the par in the bullseye. And cleaning and drying her disc there. The grass is certainly wet from the rain we had just before the round started. We had some little droplets there on the first few holes, but nothing major considering rain. Now just kicking up the order who's gonna putt next.
There's some kind of an issue.
Yeah, seems like they're looking at the caddy book.
Okay. I wonder what might be the question here. Are they checking the OB line for Sophie?
If they are checking if the OB line is truly for their hole, or is it for the other, or are they just waiting for the other group to finish their hole there? I don't know. I wouldn't believe so. I mean, yeah, it seems
Could
to be so.
but
It seems to be
looked
so.
like they were checking the caddy book, or maybe they were just tuning in for today's coverage.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they be?
Yeah. It's nice to see yourself playing live,
sure,
on YouTube,
and hearing us talk about you. Yeah.
Oh
great.
yeah, that could be quite disturbing to have a commentary track on your game.
Oh come on, Jaani, the spin doctor himself.
Yep. Listening to someone commenting your game while you're putting would be quite a disturbing experience.
And with a latency also. So it seems like they're just waiting for the putts to be over with. And now they are looking at the OB line.
Yeah, I mean, Sophie went OB.
Yeah.
And they're deciding where to continue. They found the correct spot there.
That's really unfortunate for Sophie. I mean, she's putting for double bogey almost outside circle one. Oh, is that rolling?
That's a tough break. I think it did roll down from the elevated basket.
Oh no. Sophie Björlycke, she was even for the round before this. She's
okay
in circle one, but
yeah, it stayed there, but
it's not given. And Silva able to catch the bogey.
The big rock,
yep,
in front of the line might be disturbing a little. We'll have to see about this.
Ooh,
Oh man,
right
my
side.
heart skipped a beat there.
That was triple bogey for Sophie Björlük, and she's 3 up for the first round, while Anniken Steen and Silva Saarinen are 3 down. That's a really bad turn of events for Sophie on one of the hardest holes on the course. Anniken taking the par, as does Hanna Jansson, and this might be the worst possible outcome on this hole. You get 2 OBs and then you get some nasty rollaways, and this is the approach from Anniken Steen. Look at this. Gorgeous. Bogey-free card with Anniken Steen and 100% Circle 1X.
That's impressive. I mean, that's how you do it.
Yeah. And look at those putting stats on the opening 9. Some gray you can see there. I mean, she has had a great job with the putting and some great job with the scramble percentage. I mean, she's still first in the scramble percentage with 100%, and also, of course, leading the Circle 1 putting with 100.
Yeah, and on this course, it really comes down to putting. All of these players, they can get to Circle 2, Circle 1 even. But can you make the putt? That's the question. I mean, on this kind of course, that is the question.
And she's actually naming that her favorite course is W.R. Jackson. So it's no wonder she's doing great here. I mean, I can see some similarities there.
Oh, yeah. Lots of tight gaps. W.R. Jackson, of course, is a lot longer, but still similar traits. Anniken Steen.
She actually was
leading the tournament together with Silva Saarinen, both tied at 3 down.
Yeah, the Champions Cup this year, that was on the W.R. Jackson course. Anniken actually took the tied 13th there with Lisa Faikius, Macy Valadias and Hannah Hune out of 46 players. So it's a great job for Anniken.
The European players are slowly getting up there with all the American stars, of course. Christine Tatar being the biggest star at the moment, but there are plenty of Americans there between Christine and the other Europeans.
So we have two more holes to go on this opening round with FPO, and then we have a couple of hours of break before the MPO starts, and it seems that we have a full day of coverage coming up live from Disc Golf Network this day and tomorrow and the day after, and look at this amount of coverage, man.
I mean, it's great to see Disc Golf live. For me, it's kind of a new thing even. When I started playing, we got VHS tapes and we could see Disc Golf tournaments like, I don't know, 3 months after the actual tournament. So this is something I have to get used to.
And nowadays you can ask some of those best players in the world, do you know what this is? This is a tape, you know?
Yeah.
You put it in the machine and...
Exactly. And even you had to rewind the tapes when you returned the tapes to a video store.
Yeah.
So
Back in my day, I was
you don't know the struggle.
Nowadays you have the YouTube, and of course you're there. You have some great videos on the YouTube side of things.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, some people might know me with the name of by the name of DG Spin Doctor, and certainly I've put out some videos there on YouTube, and I think it's a great medium to have. I mean, the young players, they can watch YouTube all day. Disc golf, best instructional videos from the pro players, from coaches. They can watch tournaments on DGN. I mean, there's so much disc golf in the media nowadays that just watching the play, watching the players, you get better.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that these players here in the feature card have been doing. They have watched their fair amount of coverage and instructional videos, and that's helping the sport to get forward, as we see Hanna Jansson open the hole 17. On the easier side of things, fortunately for these players, before the hole 18, the daunting hole 18, and this is early for Hanna.
That's a nice kick there.
Yeah, that's a nice kick for Hanna.
Thank you for the trees.
Yep. Tack ska du ha. And Anniken Steen not so keen to be lefty on this hole. There is OB on the right side. This is looking great. This turnover, if it can miss those bushes. Those.
And that is a tight place. Think she'll have to go over the bushes with some kind of an overhand shot.
And Silva has a great place here to snatch a birdie. This is looking great. And stop.
Whoa. Looked like she was going in for a moment there.
Yeah, that's long for Silva, but I mean, she's not OB and in the first bushes.
Yeah, I think there's no OB. The OB is on the right side only.
Yeah. And Sophie Björlücke trusting the flex play and wants the skip. Look at this.
This is a bullseye hit from Sophie Björlücke and a well-needed break.
Yeah, after the triple bogey there.
The triple bogey was devastating to see.
Yeah, that's a great recovery for Sophie. I mean, we have to roll that back. Let's roll the Zuka replay for Silva Saarinen here. Almost ringing the basket there, but just a bit.
Yeah, this looked great up until this moment. It's like it's going in.
Sure. Up until this moment, just missing the basket there on the right side. And of course, we saw the great shot from Sophie also.
And this was a good break for Hanna Jansson. That was going way to the left, but lucky trees there. Kicked her disc out.
Just looking for a subtle...
Oh, that was a misrelease.
Oh, that's how you define a grip lock.
Yeah, I mean that was a textbook grip lock.
Yeah,
like and I'm not sure if grip locks happen like what you kind of feel that happens there.
Yeah.
The hand isn't opening, but with these kind of slow shots, I think this was the exact case. The hand just didn't open, and it literally grip locked.
And that's something many times we might miss as a disc golf players, to have a grip lock, although our stance is the bad form there, so we take a stance to the wrong direction.
Yeah, I think there's like a timing issue, and we call it a grip lock for just convenience sake.
Yeah, but that
really that looked like the fingers just stuck there.
Yeah, she was actually looking at her pinky there.
Yeah.
Why didn't this open? But
I mean, yeah, that can happen. That's a nasty feeling when just your body does something just completely unexpected.
And Jansson now, this is for bogey after the OB. Settling in the bullseye, but that's unfortunate break for Jansson. She was looking solid. She was even for the round, but she's going to take a double bogey. Silva is somewhere circle 2-ish. Sophie most definitely wanting to take the birdie from the bullseye. And
Anniken Steen is somewhere in the rough.
Yep. Is that Jaani? Is that the Murray again?
I wouldn't define that a Murray. I think Murray in Finnish, it kind of ask for a darker place.
Oh yeah, sure. They have too much light in that bush.
Exactly.
Yeah, so no Murray for you, Anniken, but a tough rough still.
What are we looking at here? Maybe a sidearm-ish.
I mean, as a lefty, you have nothing there.
Basically, yeah.
But maybe a righty sidearm, Anniken?
I mean,
oh no.
Once every 2 years, I get into position where I have to do a lefty sidearm, and
yeah, she got out of there, but
yeah,
she's 9 meters away.
That's a tough place.
Yeah, 30 feet away for the par. Now we are getting to see where Silva is. You are just tuning in. We are on the second to last hole of the opening round of this fourth stop in Eurotour. And Silva Saarinen is going to show you some action here.
Nice.
Come on. Welcome to see the action here at Umergården Disc Golf Center. Silva Saarinen
extending her lead.
Yeah, extending her lead after the bogey on the last hole. Great job from Silva. Circle 2 uphill. Great putt. Sten for the par.
Oh,
she gets it.
That's just perfect. And
wow.
Talking about perfect stays, Anniken is staying in 100% for C1.
Yeah.
So that's the definition of perfection on the putting green.
And still bogey free for the whole round.
That's very impressive. Really.
100% bogey free. Look at this putt from Silva. I mean, she has the bushes, the height.
Yeah.
Just low enough for the basket to catch that. Great job. Wow. And what a turn. And Silva is now leading the tournament once again, 4 under for the round. Anniken Sten following suit, 3 under. Then we have Marianne Must and Amanda Lennartsson, -1 for the round. Here's Silva Saarinen's scorecard. I mean, there's ups and there's downs. A great birdie from the hole 1. And a great birdie from the hole 9. That might be the only birdie for the day, if I remember correctly, on hole 9.
Yeah, I think you are correct there.
80% circle 1. She's getting better there, and she's known for that great putting of hers.
Yeah, that was a 15-meter uphill putt from Silva Saarinen, and well needed.
Yeah, let's take a short commercial break here. We'll be back with you soon enough.
Pulsate Disc Golf Academy is the world's biggest online platform for learning the curves and angles of the world's fastest growing sport. Register today and get access to clear and well-structured lessons and exercises from the very best ever to throw the disc. New content uploaded every week. Start learning today.
PDJ reinvests membership funding into support for programs like the Competition Endowment, Youth and Education Program, and Marco Polo Program, all of which help grow the sport in communities around the world. Get started today. Visit pdja.com/join.
And we have one more hole to go on this opening round for the FPO. Jaani, what have we seen so far?
Well, we've seen some bad breaks.
Yep.
And awesome putting.
Sure.
But I really wish we had seen awesome putting also on the front nine when putting was a little bit cold. Only Anniken Steen was putting and is putting hot all day long. Silva Saaren is waking up though.
Yeah. She's unfortunate to wake up just on the back nine, but she was having some great opportunities on the front nine and fortunately able to cash a couple of those birdies there on the early round. And we have yet one more really difficult hole to see. It's a par 4, it's a long one. I mean, we're gonna see some differentiation between those players.
Yeah, that's I think the toughest hole on the course, and that really separates the players. There, you need a big drive, good approach, and a good putt to make the birdie. So birdie definitely is not given here, and a bogey. I mean, some of our players might have to settle for the bogey.
Yeah, and if you get a kick right, the bogey is a given. Or they hope the bogey is a given after that. So we're going to see an interesting hole just before the FPO round stops. But we have to remember we are playing a tournament here. We have the MPO coverage coming up in a couple of hours. And after the MPO stops, we have a preserve coming up for the viewers. And it's going to be disc golf all day long. I mean, I'm not going to sleep this weekend. I'm just going to watch all the Disc Golf Network coverage.
I mean, if you aren't going to sleep, I will have to take over your job for tomorrow and Sunday. And I'm not sure if I'm going to sleep, so it'll be a wild Saturday and Sunday for us.
Yeah, sure thing. As you can see, the leaderboard there behind us, Silva is currently leading with one stroke. And as we told you, this can change in a flash on hole 18. Anniken Steen 3 down, Amanda Leonardsson and Marianne Must 1 down for the round. And it's going to be an interesting hole for the day, last hole, and it's going to be an interesting moving day tomorrow for the FPO.
Yeah, I'm anticipating lots of movement because it's quite a tight battle. I mean, if we compare this to Krukol, it seemed like the couple of players there, they stay on top of the leaderboard. And then maybe down there somewhere is the movement that's going on. But I think on this kind of course, if your putter is hot, you can climb up the ranks quite easily. And we've seen that some of our players' putter is hot and some of ours is quite cold actually.
Yeah.
So, and putting is a fragile thing. It's just, I mean, some days are good, some days are bad. And if your moving day is bad, well, good luck for the Sunday.
Yeah, and I mean, we started the Euro Tour from the Pro Forester. It was kind of similar to this, but they had some bigger trees and bigger bushes even there. Then we had the Konopiste, which was fairly open, and the roughs are not as bad as in Krukol or in here.
Yeah, this is like, it's fun to see all the European Euro Tour venues are so different. I mean, 8 countries.
Yeah.
All the European cultures. We are in the Eastern Europe for the couple of first. Then we go to Scandinavia and everything. I mean, lots of nature, different kind of playing cultures even, and of course different kind of courses. I mean, you have to handle all kinds of courses if you want to be a great player.
Yeah.
Here it's really not about the distance. It's about the putting, and maybe in Konopiste it was more about the distance. And I mean, you have to know how to play disc golf.
Yeah, and if you start your career and your hobby from those ball golf courses in Las Vegas, you won't stand a chance in Europe. I'm sorry to tell you, but this is something else, and this is where we practice and where we start. And you get a new disc, and it gets beaten on your first hole, and that's really rough. You learn fastly that you have to know your approaches, you have to know your angles, and you have to know when to lay up. And coming from Krukol, Norway, as we are live on the green of 18 on the second to last card of the day, I mean, coming from Krukol, there you really had to know when to lay up. But this course here at Umergårdens Disc Golf Center, these holes are pretty much more runnable, would you say?
These are definitely runnable. The putting greens are normal greens where basically it's the same putt every time. Okay, here we see an uphill putt for sure.
That's normal for us. Though.
Yeah, and also we didn't see wind the last couple of holes, but now it's already looking like we had for hole 15. It's a huge gust of wind. We are, of course, in the open here, so things are a lot different.
And yet again, the flag gets completely still, nothing, nowhere, and then in a flash there comes the wind again.
Yeah, it's hard to concentrate on your putting.
This is Jenni Karppinen for the birdie, and that's an important one. She's rough. She has had a rough round, +4 before this putt, and now she's +3 for the round. And she's gonna have some big movements to do on the moving day if she wishes to compete for the win here at Borås, Sweden. Whoa,
That's it, is a nerve-wracking putt here. Downhill, nothing behind the basket.
And the wind's here again. I mean, if she misses this front, that's a great putt.
Yeah, a well-deserved fist bump there.
Great job.
These putts, they are not given.
They're certainly not, Jaani.
And it's so easy to be here and commentating on those putts, and I would make that putt every day. Yeah.
Then you won't.
I mean, we all are making those putts every day. When you feel the wind, when you see that there's nothing behind the basket and my score is +3 already, I need to make this one, or I won't be making the cut, or whatever, you start thinking about different things that actually are not positive for you. It gets a lot harder.
And it gets a lot harder when you see this T sign. Hole 18, and this is for the FPO only. There is the MPO T on the right side of the T sign. For the FPO, this is 185 meters, par 4. It has OB. It has some corners to pass. This is Silva Saarinen. This is a bit high. I mean, it's going up and over the camera crew. Look at this, Jaani.
This was a
don't roll.
Great.
Oh my.
Great drive from Silva.
Wow. That's a way to open this hole.
That's a good drive. Great.
Sophie Björlücke also.
Very good. Something you really have to avoid here is going long with your drive. There is the OB lurking behind the fairway.
And Anniken Steen. What would it be like to be a lefty here? I mean, the forehand is the only option going downhill.
Yeah, you have to know the forehand here.
This is turning over, but it's getting stable. Yeah.
Is it getting stable soon enough? It does.
Wow. It's a great sidearm from Anniken Steen, and she has really utilized the sidearm only on the up shots today. Really hasn't been driving with the sidearm. So we see Hanna Jansson opening her last hole, and this is also, it looked to be turned over, but that's great. I mean, 4 great shots here on the
that's 18th. True. I mean, we saw great driving on this last hole. And as you mentioned, Anniken Steen taking the sidearm, which is surprising because on the front nine, we saw lots of Anheisers.
And we're going to see some Zuka replay rolling here with Silva Saarinen really picking up her driving. I mean,
yeah, this looked high.
Yeah, looked high, looked a bit short, but definitely not short and not too high. I mean, she's looking at the green right there.
Yeah, and I think she might have passed the mandatory already, so that's really a big drive.
Yeah, that's a risk if you are. You might be taking a risk there for the bigger hands, because if you fade too early, you are missing the Mando, which you have to go right off.
Yeah, exactly. This was very close to mandatory. And if it were to fade a second too early, this would have gone past the mandatory for sure. But no worries here.
Yeah, and just to remind our viewers, if you are not familiar with the rulings of disc golf, we have those spotters there to show us where the discs are and where they might have been gone OB, but it's always on the group, the group of 3 to 4 players, to decide if the disc went out of bounds and where did it go out of bounds. So considering the mandatory there, as we see Anniken Steen picking up her second shot, if it was the Silva's disc to pass the mandatory on the wrong side and then roll down, they wouldn't do anything for it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kicking
I'm
right.
not sure if the group can even see the mandatory from the tee. And
bet they can't.
Looks like this might have skipped OB.
Yeah.
And
unfortunate
I think that is a death sentence for Anniken Steen's bogey-free round.
Yeah, I mean, she's
on the last hole.
Yeah, I mean, she's throwing her fourth, and she's like 70 meters away. Not so much, 50 to 60 meters, but I mean, yeah, she won't have a bogey-free round here.
What an unfortunate last hole for Anniken Steen.
Yeah, just a bit too long on the hand for that grip to hold the disc in. This is Hanna Janssen. Getting a fair amount of distance, but not enough. And this might... I mean, Silva might get a 2-stroke swing here if she's able to get on a birdie position.
There really shouldn't be any problems from there where Silva is. I think it was almost a perfect drive.
3 birdies here on the day. Elina Wilnersson, Ingvi Lönnvik and Jenny Karppinen carding the 3 on this hole 18.
But also a few double bogeys, triple bogeys.
Yeah, look at those.
So that is really a separator hole here.
And that's a great ending for a tournament.
Yeah.
Come the final day.
Yeah, it's a good ending hole. I mean, you can take risks. You have to take risks. I hope. I hope it just gets tighter and tighter, the competition here. This is turning over a bit too early.
We are seeing the wind to pick up here at Borås, Sweden. But the rain seems to be passing away from the course, and that's, of course, something we are happy to see.
This is nearing perfection here. Should be quite an easy approach shot for Silva. And it certainly looks good. And it is perfect.
Great
Sitting there
job.
in the bullseye for yet another birdie for Silva Saarinen. And that will
That's a
be
great
her
catch.
8th birdie of the day.
8 birdies,
3
wow.
bogeys. It's a 5-down round we're looking at here.
She's continuing where she left off at Krukol. And this is Anniken's 4th now. And I have to give it to her. I mean, she's smiling after the OB on the last hole, and she really has the high spirit all the way till the end of the round.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help to frown. You're completely right there to say. And Anniken is one of those high spirits players.
Yeah, she's there 5 meters for the bogey. Unfortunate bogey on the last hole, but I bet she's chasing that bogey-free round again tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll be seeing her tomorrow in the lead card. I'm pretty sure about this.
I mean, something horrible has to happen. Anna Jansson far away for the birdie, but let's see if she can get her disc to settle near the basket.
That was an early release.
Anna is really struggling with the grip right now.
Yeah, seems like there's something up with her fingers. She'll have a nasty little putt downhill in a slight headwind.
And this is one of the most treacherous greens here at Ymer Gordon's Disc Golf Center. The slope is really tough there, and if you hit the cage, get an angle on your putt, you can roll down. And we are now seeing Sophie Björlöke. She's in circle 2. Just a bit right. She will be settling in for the par. I mean, without that triple bogey on hole 16, Sophie Björlöke's round would be really solid there.
And the local cat there admiring the gallery.
Yeah, sure. Why not enjoy live disc golf where it is? Jansson for par.
And the wind is picking up just in time for her putt. I mean, this is... the nature is playing against you now.
Yep. She will be taking a bogey and moving on to towards the moving day. She's currently tied with Sophie Björlöke. +2 for the round, but she will be taking a bogey to go 3 over for the round. Anniken's 10, this is for bogey. And even this is not given in the wind.
Oh, definitely not.
And it's high. And the hyzer putt of Anniken really played against her and this wind. She will be taking a double. I'm sorry. Yeah, double.
Yes, it's a double bogey for Anniken.
Oh my. Silva's taking a birdie?
I'm pretty sure about that. She'll have a 4-stroke lead going for tomorrow.
3 strokes on the last hole. And as we were talking about, Jaani, this can really separate people. Now Silva, she needs to focus. Just tap it in. Great job from Silva. I mean, 5 down. That is considered a hot round, for it is the leading score after the opening day. here at Swedish Open 2023. Sophie Björlycke taking the par. Anniken for the double. Unfortunate there for Anniken. And there is a three-way tie for the second place in the tournament after that last hole, and a couple other players too on the -1 for the round scoring. Here you can see the scoreboard. Silva Saarinen, she delivered today.
Yeah, after a very, I would say, a slow start. I mean, she got the birdie on the first hole, then a bogey and another bogey. It looked like, okay, Silva is not in the mood for winning. But the back nine really showed that she still got game. I mean, of course, winning Krukol Open was big for her and probably lifted her spirits. And now she really is, like the last few holes we saw that, okay, she's in shape now.
Yeah, she's really doing some good things, and we are sure she's not gonna be slowing down for tomorrow.
No, I mean, she doesn't have to, but also it's a lot easier to play when you know that you have a 4-stroke lead. You don't have to make anything, like, you don't have to force anything to happen. You can just take the birdies that are given and just play a little bit more safe even than today.
We'll take a short commercial break here, Jaani, but we'll do more analysis after that, and we'll see you in just a while. Don't go anywhere.
A round of disc golf can be long, and if you're playing in a tournament, it can feel like a marathon. This can leave you physically and mentally fatigued by the end when your shots matter most. With space for your discs, water, and even a place to sit, a cart enables you to bring what you need, helping you feel more prepared and energized without carrying the extra weight. This can help you maintain your edge and save you strokes through every round.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I have always been interested in letters and typography through graffiti and street art, where I've more or less been active my whole life. And I've always been playing disc golf too. So when I got to know the guy behind Kastaplast, I begged him to let me do a graphics for a line of discs. I thought it would be nice with a line of discs that had the thoughts from the disc's perspective. Because we always treat the discs as they were alive. We blame them for our wrong angles and our missed putts.
And we are back at you from the studio in Helsinki, and my name is Esa-Pekka Tupala, I'm your host today, and with me I have Jaani Lansio, the spin doctor himself. Jaani, we just saw the opening round for the FPO at Swedish Open 2023, and Silva Saarinen delivered a solid round, 3 bogeys there, but still 8 birdies.
Yeah, solid round. Maybe if she cleans the scorecard out of those bogeys, we're gonna see a really, really hot round in the moving day, because now there is a little less pressure. She's leading by 4 strokes. That's quite a big lead at this point.
And here you can see the scorecard for Silva Saarinen, 80% circle 1. And I mean, yeah, she's going all over the place looking at the scorecard. But as you said, Jaani, if she can manage to keep those bogeys away, she will be fine tomorrow.
Yeah, the bogeys were quite unnecessary. I mean, when are the bogeys necessary? or hardly ever. But still, it looked like there were easy mistakes, easily avoidable. The putter was cold, the first on the front nine. The putter was hot on the back nine, and I'm anticipating to see more of that.
Yeah, we'll hear from Silva right now. She's in the clubhouse. Let's enjoy her interview.
Okay, here we have the current leader Silva Saarinen, -5 under round, so that's the hot round for the day. How do you feel after this great round?
I'm good.
Feeling good. Okay, so a little bit of a slow start in the beginning. You took a bogey from 2 and 4, but after that you kind of got everything rolling, and the back nine was pretty phenomenal, especially the 2 last holes. So did the wind and this a little bit wet weather affect your play in any way?
I don't think so, but it was too cold when we started the round.
Okay, it didn't, but it warmed up a little bit after we got through the first holes. Good. So what about tomorrow then? Are you gonna keep up the same job and same kind of pace, or it says on the weather maps that it might be like raining throughout the whole morning, but what do you think about that?
I don't think it yet.
So no thoughts on the rain for tomorrow, so no thoughts for today.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Silva, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Silva there. And as we see some highlights from her round, she was mentioning that she's not gonna share a thought about the weather tomorrow, and that might be the best case, because I mean, she can manage the rain, we know that, and she can also prepare for it, I mean, tomorrow morning when she's getting warmed up.
Yeah, and there are things that are in your control, but most of the things are outside your control, and weather's being one of them. So it really doesn't. It's not good for your game to actually worry about the weather. Check if it's raining, take the raincoat, maybe an umbrella. If it's warm and sunshine, well, take them anyway with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't change much.
Yeah, sure thing. And as we saw there on those last highlights from Silva Saarinen, your leader on the tournament with 5 under after today, I mean, if the weather gets warmer, Silva has an advantage. But would you say that if the rain continues and gets even more heavier, all of the other players might get a chance too if they can manage the weather?
It's very hard to say how these players practice, because you have to practice in the rain to know how to play in the rain. And quite many players, they look outside the windows, check the weather, and then they decide whether they go practicing or not. But the best players, they practice in the rain.
Yeah.
I mean, the worse the weather, just go outside and to make some putts, because it's a really different game to play with wet discs.
Yeah, and as we are ending this scene right here, we have the MPO field still starting the tournament. And it's a couple of hours away, and we certainly hope that you will enjoy those MPO players also tackle the course. And here's the schedule for the broadcast. So 9 a.m. local time in Sweden, the FPO starts their round, and 4 p.m. we have the MPO starting their round here at Swedish Open. And as you told Jaani, we might have some heavy weather conditions here during the whole weekend, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Krukol was amazing, we had amazing weather, and Konopiste was great, but there was this big humidity there, about 80% in Konopiste, and here we have those humidities around 50% if we have raining, so it's a bit different here at Scandinavia.
Yeah, I hope it's not cold. I mean, just for the players, it's not fun to play in the cold. I don't know about it, but I feel like the Scandinavians are pretty used to playing the cold, so maybe that plays a role. I mean, American players, Paul Macbeth, playing in the nice weathers there in America, but there are also a couple of Canadians, and they might play a better in cold, because that's they also got some snow there.
Yeah, for sure, and some polar bears and penguins and stuff. We don't even know about that.
I mean, penguins especially, they like to hang around there in Canada.
And we'll see what kind of penguins and what kind of polar bears we're gonna see throwing some discs here at Swedish Open after this couple of hours break here at Disc Golf Network. We hope you get some nutritions to yourself and some drinks to have when the MPO starts at 4 p.m. local time. Thanks, Jaani, for the company, for the FPO.
Thanks, Epe.
And we'll see you all after a couple of hours when we join the MPO lead card, feature card to start their round here at Swedish Open 2023. Thanks for this FPO card, and we'll see you again. Bye.